Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So, just like every other day, most days I end up seeing something that completely ruins my day. So, I was doing some looking around at stuff online earlier, and I look at stuff at my phone. I try to, try to stay on top of things because we don't get nothing from our media. Our media is not going to tell us the truth. Even the people on YouTube that are getting popular by being supposedly independent media. Like, for instance, I'm just saying, like Benny Johnson. I haven't seen a single video of him talking about the dangers of digital ID and integration of AI. Same thing with Dr. Steve Turley, and I'm kind of understanding now why they were able to keep their channels going without being censored at all, or dealing with demonetization, really, because they probably most likely have made a deal. I could be wrong. This is just what I think, and I'm stating that, but I don't feel like I am wrong. But anyways, right now in Alaska, they are rolling out digital ID, and it is not mandatory. It is optional, and it's going to be an app on your phone where they consolidate all of your identifications and is also biometric. It does monitor your would monitor your online activity because it is on your phone. It kind of syncs with all the rest of your apps on your phone. It knows what you do. Oh man, it's so terrible. And it was, really, really terrible because I really want to get what I have to say out there because it doesn't seem like anybody else is really doing it, especially talking about this stuff. They're right now, most Republicans or conservatives and people that love this country, they don't even know about this. They're like, oh my God, everything's going so good right now. Like, we're about to not be paying taxes and this and that. And well, how long is that going to last if they roll out digital ID and then there's a social credit score that comes after that, and then there will be no more cash, and central bank digital currencies will be in the same situation as China, or even worse. The reason why I say it could be worse is because Chinese people and Asians, for the most part, always just completely, almost 100% comply with whatever their government wants them to do, and that's not the same thing with Americans and Caucasians. All races are a bit different when it comes to certain things. Man, all I can do at this point is like pray for Alaska. I want to promote some of my videos. I actually think that I'm going to promote this one as soon as I'm done with this video. Digital ID is dangerous. It really is. Every single other place where it is being unleashed, when you look deep into the plans for what's next in line for that, it's going the same way that everything has went in China, where right now in China, they're actually putting QR codes next to the street address on your door that people can scan with their phone, and it shows them what your social credit score is, so they can choose to not be friends with you or report you for doing things. Basically, there you speak out about your government. You don't like what your government's doing. You get consequences. I was just watching a guy that was Chinese, some type of way got himself over here out of that situation. But whenever he speaks out about his government over there, they send people over here to harass him. Like, imagine how bad it is over there. This is about complete control. Those people up at the top, those elites, they're getting bored. They're like, what good do people do? That's what they're thinking. They're like, well, we're rich and we can do all this stuff. But what can they do? All they do is, go out and work at McDonald's and go home and eat and just wait. They think that we're just a waste. They don't think about things the way that they do. These people are heartless. These people don't care. Like, if you look at what really pay attention to what these people are saying at World Economic Forum meetings in Davos, hopefully you start to take it seriously. These digital IDs are being pushed by one organization for the most part, and their funders, and they're pushing this all over the world at once. This is about one world government. It really is. This is really serious. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is actually happening. Like, I just asked my phone earlier, just a little bit ago, like literally 2-3 minutes before I came down here to make this video. Is Alaska actively pushing or rolling out a digital ID system? They are. It is going to be implemented by the end of this year, which we're at the end of the year right now, and it won't be mandatory at this point, it says. But it says at this point, so I'm guessing at some point it will be. People in Alaska consistently votes for freedom. They're a red state. I hate that things are just split into two categories to make it seem like we have a choice when we really, really don't. When, regardless of who wins, they have the same agenda. It just gets accomplished a different way. I really hope that Trump is different, especially since there are so many people fighting against him. But it could have all been part of the smoke and mirrors thing. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I know that's what they have been doing, especially like you could see it with the Bush administrations. Basically, you would get these Democrats that would be in office, and they would, start some very terrible policies. And then there would be some Republicans that are supposed to be for the people go in there, and they wouldn't undo any of that stuff. Like they would just let it be, so you could tell that they were like the same agenda. They're a member of the club, the Bush family there are a member of the Skull and Bones. If y'all know anything about that, and they're open about that. They go to all the meetings, of course, that probably at Bohemian Grove and all that stuff, and all the weird stuff they do there. But right now, our country is under attack, and nobody is talking about it. But they know about it, but they're not talking about it, and there's a reason for that. They might have been threatened. They want this system to roll out quietly and smoothly and easily. Y'all have to stand up and do something. I don't even know why I'm making this video right now. Honestly, I just want to try. I'm believing that something will happen, that one of my videos the right person might see it and start sharing it on their profile or something. But the very first video that I made about 2-3 months ago, not even that long ago, recently, again, I started making videos. I have a ton of videos on my deal, but the first one like this that I made about 2 months ago or so, it's only got 6 views on it. When I first started my YouTube channel, I was getting tons of views until I decided to start talking about stuff like this. So if you see this video, please like and subscribe, and please share if you can share it to your Facebook profile. You can do that. You could press the share button on here, and you'll have the option to share it to your Facebook. Like I said in other videos, I originally started this channel because I wanted this to be like maybe even turn into a job where I can make money, talking about guns and ammo and hunting and showing hunting videos and fishing bait and fishing poles and bows and arrows, hunting boots and all that stuff. But not long into it, I started seeing a need that our country needs help, and that people need to start, being informed about what's going on and being encouraged to do research on what's going on. That's what I'm doing. I'm not going to pull up any videos on here or headlines or any of that stuff. You can look this up on your own. All you got to do is Google it. Like literally, press the microphone on your Google bar and say, "Hey Google, is Alaska right now implementing a digital ID system?" And then once you see the answer that you're not going to like, go see what's going on in China. Literally, at all times, people walking around in public, especially in cities, cameras know where you are. They know exactly where you're going, and you get penalized for saying stuff like I'm saying right now. And it affects what you can buy at the store. It affects if you can travel to work, and all that stuff. And it's getting worse for this. It's still not as bad as it can get there. It just got a step worse, more terrible over there with the thing that they just implemented, and they're going around putting these QR codes next to families' doors so their neighbors can scan the QR code and see what their see what whose ever QR code they're scanning. They can just see what stuff that should be none of their business. And it can change the way that they treat their neighbors, and neighbors treat each other, and all that stuff. It's terrible. This is getting really bad all over the world. People need to stand up. RFK Jr. has made speeches about this and the dangers of this, but medias have been silent about it. Like I said, social media reporters, people like that are trying to, speak freedom, because our media on the TV won't do it. So we kind of got to do it ourselves. But there's a lot of people like me that started off just like me. But at this point, they are big. Like I said, Benny Johnson. I don't know specifically, but I just know that he does not talk about digital ID at all. Does he know about it? Most definitely. Does he talk about it? No. Why does he not talk about it? Well, I have my speculations, but they're not talking about it. They're just letting it slowly roll out. They're letting their different states are rolling it out as like a testing ground to see what the citizens do. And now it is up to Alaska and their citizens to say no. Say hell no. They have to fight. I don't know why this is happening. I mean, I know why this is happening. But I don't know why more people aren't doing what I'm doing. They might be. The reason why I'm not seeing it is because of the same thing that's happening to me. I'm so heavily censored that nobody sees anything I say. Like I said, a video that I posted weeks ago, maybe even more than a month ago, only has 6 views. But whenever I first started this channel making a gun review, I remember I made a review of a specific rifle I had and how good it shot, and different things about it and other statistics about it, and just my overall opinion of it. It was getting in the first day hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of reviews. 2 or 3 days later, definitely a week later, over 1,000 views. And I was a nobody. Nobody knew who I was. They just looked up something that they had questions about, and my video popped up. Now I know people are looking up videos on here about digital ID and AI and things like that. But those videos are, I'm guessing, just have to be being suppressed. I know I can't be the only one out here thinking this and wanting to inform people. So if you see this video, please like and subscribe it. Please fast and pray. There's only one king, and that's King Jesus. Please fast and pray. That's what he commands us to do. That's what we should do. There's like, I don't know. It just seems like everybody is worried about right now, which they should be. A lot of people are saying right now the number one threat to our country right now is Islamic terrorism, because we're being invaded. We really are. But at the same time, there is an equally just as bad, or maybe a little bit worse, plot being rolled out right in front of us, and people aren't paying attention. And that is the digital ID. So y'all, please pay attention. As always, like and subscribe, please. Like I said, at this point, I'm not worried about making any money. I'm just wanting to help do my part to save this country from this evil plan. These people know that they don't have a lot of time left, and they have to do everything they can right now to push AI and to push the digital ID, because that's what leads into enslavement. It really, once they do that and they implement a social credit score, you're screwed. The only way to get out of this at a certain point soon, if it keeps growing and getting worse, you don't get out of anything like this by complying. You have to get out and fight. And people in the UK, they don't even have a gun to do it with. They don't have a Second Amendment that was put in place for people to fight their country out of tyranny. This isn't just a countrywide tyranny. This is a global tyranny. This is a global reset. And this isn't a good reset. This is a bad reset. The awakening, the Bible says that any time that the enemy builds up a force against his people, that God will raise up a standard against them. And I'm praying for that. It needs to happen. People need to stand up everywhere and say no. People have to, or we won't have anything left. Anyways, I love you. Jesus loves you. And I'll see you next time. Oh, yep. Also, please comment. Bye-bye.